Good morning, everybody. It's Friday morning, March 27th, 2020, and welcome to week 3 of the coronavirus crisis. Again, we're not going to get together this morning, just to feel like it doesn't make sense in the current climate. And you notice I'm outside. I'm at a really beautiful place near my house called the Birmingham Hill. We'll talk about that in a moment. It's just beautiful out here. The sun's trying to come up. It's really, really nice. So let me tell you then a little bit where I am. So this is the Birmingham Hill. This was the heaviest fighting on September 11th, 1777 at the Battle of Brandywine. This was it. There were not many times in the history of the American Revolution that everything hung in the balance. And here, everything did hang in the balance. Washington was down the road about 2 miles at Chadds Ford, and he didn't know it. He was facing over 15,000 British troops. They had separated at Kennett Square, and half of them were marching this way to crush his flank and end the American Revolution. So later in the day, he begins to hear that this is coming, and he asked General Sullivan, his Pennsylvanians, to pivot and take up a position right on that hill. And I live in the woods right over there. So they marched through my yard and took up a position on that hill. And he asked General Nathan Greene to become the rear guard and to protect Washington so they could withdraw. And right over here were the Queen's Rangers. They were the special forces of their day. They were American loyalists. They wore green uniforms. If you've seen the Mel Gibson movie, The Patriot, that's who they were. So right out here in this field, you had the bloodiest fighting of the American Revolution. You had a civil war. You had Americans killing Americans. And all Sullivan and Greene's troops had to do was slow them down. They didn't need to win, just slow them down. Just give Washington enough time to start his withdrawal to Chester and live to fight another day. So as I stand here, I imagine a row of people up there, Americans. They were farmers, they were merchants, there were doctors, probably some attorneys, there were men and probably some women. We now know women were fighting alongside the men. And they probably were wondering, what the hell did I get myself into? Who thought that starting a gunfight with the most powerful military on earth was good for me? But what they were is they were people who were caught up in events that were bigger than them. They didn't control the events. They didn't declare independence. They didn't do what the king and events were beyond their control. The only thing they had control over was how they reacted to them. And that's what they did. They reacted. And they reacted with honor, and they fought for their families, and they fought for their homes, and they slowed them down, and they held the field just long enough for Washington to live to fight another day. That probably should feel familiar because that's where we are. We are in events beyond our control. We didn't cause this. We couldn't stop it. We really don't have much in the way of impacting it, with the sole exception of how we react. And that's what I'm going to ask you to do this week, is I'm going to ask you to react correctly, to stay calm, and let's do our jobs. And part of doing our jobs is twofold: taking care of ourselves, our families, and each other, and taking care of the business. Here's what I'm going to ask of you. First, the headlines are bad. I've already seen them this morning. When you see a bad headline, we can take it. Say to yourself, we can take it, because we can. And we have to. But we also have to take care of each other. So if you see a coworker looking a little shaky, looking a little timid, maybe too much going on, just engage them at a proper distance, of course. But engage them. So the order of the day is take care of yourself, take care of each other, and let's protect our business. There's a sign up in Unit E on the break room door: protect your check. Let's take care of each other, take care of the business. We can take this. We can take it. We don't have a choice, but we can take it. This country has seen adversity before, and we've always prevailed. And I don't expect anything less today. So, have a good weekend. Keep your family close. Wash your hands. I think somebody mentioned that there's a Monopoly tournament at my house tomorrow, and I think it's gotten to the point where I'm gonna have to let my wife give me a haircut this weekend. So next week's video, you'll probably see me wearing a hat. All right, I appreciate everything everyone's doing. I can't thank you enough. Stay strong. We can take this. We can take this.